inflammation, and licorice also good.
And for parasite?
For parasite, liver cleanse works very good. And we have in Ayurveda some specific herbs which we give for parasite. If you want to name, I can write for you. You can check on the chat, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ji.
Welcome. It comes by the name of Krimi Kutar Ras or Krimi Mudgar Ras. So you can, this kind of tablets, you can take morning, evening for a while, like a 15 days course or something. And
Okay.
one herb comes, it called Vidang Churn. This is also we take for parasites.
Let me check. Okay. Yes.
And the liver cleanse is good for that purpose. If somebody has parasites, sometimes liver cleaning helps a lot to flush out.
How to clean the liver? Just
Liver cleaning, anything when do people do juice fasting, fruit fasting, or when you flush out everything. So like drinking something and then sometimes people do apple juice. Like few
yes.
days taking do apple juice, or then they flush out with the castor oil one day, or sometimes people use Epsom salt. This kind of techniques when you have to drink lots of water, warm water. You can take with salt, you can take with lemon, or you can take other kind of herbs, and you flush out lots 5, 6, 7 times. But before doing this liver cleansing, few days you have to go very simple light diet to support the
Yes.
system, and then one day you have to flush it out.
Okay.
And sometimes traditionally people say if you have worms, take apple before sleeping and leave it, especially in case of amoebiasis. And thus taking apple before sleeping and leaving it as it is afterwards, not taking anything. It retains in the stomach long time, and it also kills the, in case of amoebiasis, giardiasis, it works very good.
Okay.
And in Ayurveda, one herb, it called Kutaj Ghanvati. This is also good. If somebody has parasites like amoebiasis, giardiasis, in that cases it works good.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Namaste, Usha ji.
Namaste.
My name is Varsha.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a question regarding the female, especially once you pass like 43, 44, you have this hormonal imbalance.
Yeah.
So what kind of things can help so that, we can sail through smoothly?
Okay, you are saying about the menopausal syndrome kind of. So what happens, the female hormone, this period is after 43 or 45, the called menopausal time of menopause. In that time, the hormones goes up and down. So, and the second thing in the women's, the estrogen, when estrogen goes down, estrogen is also responsible for absorption of calcium. So calcium absorption also gets less in the women's. So in Ayurveda, we give Shatavari, asparagus pills. It has a natural estrogen, and sometime hormonal replacement. We give Shatavari pills morning, evening for a long period instead of taking any hormones. And same time, we increase the calcium intake also, because calcium absorption goes down, so osteoporosis or these kind of changes comes afterwards. Sometime if somebody getting stress also, then we give ashwagandha and satavari in combination together. 1 teaspoon powder morning, evening. You can take long time, so it will calm down the head, balance the body also, and balance the hormonal issues also.
So Shatavari, generally, like I have the bottle. So for how many months should I continue?
Shatavari you can take long time also, no problem. Shatavari is called woman's medicine. So it is good if somebody want to conceive. It is good if somebody is going irregular menstruation, heavy menstruation, menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, or we give breastfeeding mothers very good, and menopause time it's also good. After 35 years of age, any woman can take Ashwagandha Shatavari composition like in the daily routine also, no problem.
Once a day?
You can take twice a day also. You mix the same amount of Ashwagandha Shatavari in the powder form, and you can take 1 teaspoon powder morning and evening. Best with milk. If you can't take milk, regular milk, then you can use almond or soya milk. If not possible, you can take with water.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. So now we can start. Shivani ji.
Yes, Usha ji, we can start. I just want to introduce once again to all my participants that we have Dr. Usha ji here with us. She is practicing Ayurveda. She's a practitioner doctor from Ayurveda past 20 years. And according to her patients and students, she is curing the human race with her natural wand of Ayurveda and Panchkarma. So we welcome Usha ji once again. Usha ji.
Thank you. So I am a Ayurveda practitioner, but mostly I involve in teaching. Teaching is my hobby also. If I am getting stress, I take a class and I feel good. So teaching is my main profession, but then I do Ayurveda detailed consultation also and detox programs also. So today I will explain you what is Ayurveda and how it can help to our body to get more balance. Basically, Ayurveda, when we talk about Ayurveda, it's knowing yourself, understanding yourself. Ayurveda says every individual is individual. No comparison between the two peoples. Even if you are twins, you have differences. And we have to work according to that differences. The main thing in Ayurveda specialty, in Ayurveda, same disease, if your body type is different, then medicine can be different. You can't give same medicine to a Vata person and or to Pitta person also, or to Kapha person also. So whenever we do give Ayurveda medicines in Ayurveda, first we analyze the prakriti of the person. What is the body constitution of a person? According to that, the medicine of the according to body type will change. Not everything for everybody. So somebody advise you something, you take it. Sometimes you feel very good if the quality of that thing matching to your quality. Sometimes you can feel neutral, and sometimes you can feel very bad also. And sometimes you have a strong desire to take something, and sometimes you have a strong desire not to take anything. So if your inside is saying don't take the thing, never force yourself, because your body knows that I don't need this, or this kind of thing will not work very good with my body. One time I met a French doctor, modern medicine doctor, and he said me, all the life his mom is forcing him to take vinegar with the salad. And all the life he say, I don't like it, don't like it. And whenever Ayurveda consultation, he was a strong Pitta person. And inside is saying not good, but mom is saying very healthy, take it, take it. So if somebody is saying no, so better not to force. So this knowing yourself, this is Ayurveda. And as much as you will know yourself, life will be more easy and life will be more balanced. Happy and healthy life. We say long and healthy life. Ayurveda word made of two words, Ayu and Veda. Ayu means life and Veda means knowledge. So Ayurveda is knowledge of life, knowing yourself, understanding yourself, and what you will do if you understand yourself. You will live long and healthy life. In Hindi, in Sanskrit, we say Jivet Varsham Shatam. Live 100 years of life. It's your right to live a long life, but it's important the life should be healthy. Ayurveda say you live more than 100 years, no problem. But you have to live a healthy life. You have not to say today I have a back pain, tomorrow I have a stress, other day I have a sleep disturb, other day I have a knee pain, I am going emotional ups and down. Ayurveda don't consider this life. Ayurveda says health is a broad word. It's physical, mental, and emotional balance. No physical problem, no mental issue, no emotional issue. This is the health according to Ayurveda. Your social interaction, also represent your health. How you talk, how you behave, how you react, this is also part of your health. Sometimes when you are in a good stage of health, physically, mentally, emotionally balanced, somebody say very bad thing to you, you don't mind because you are balanced. Sometimes what happens, somebody say you something very little and you get really very furious, you create big tantrum, crying or big drama because it is your reaction because you are not feeling good inside. So how you interact, how you behave, how is your reaction, also it is part of your health, your social behavior. So Ayurveda, meaning of Ayurveda is Ayu means life, Veda means knowledge, knowledge of life. So knowledge of life to live a long life and healthy life. This is the purpose of Ayurveda. Ayurveda based on Panch Mahabhuta. Panch means five, Maha means big, Bhuta means element. Five big elements. These are physical unit of our body. Physically, our body is made of five elements. This is earth, water, fire, air, and space. Everybody has these five things in the body. In Ayurveda or in Indian mythology, we say universe, we say Brahmand. The meaning of universe, we say Brahmand. Brahmand means as it is in the smallest structure, same is in the biggest one. We say in Sanskrit, Yatha Ande Tatha Pinde. As the smallest, same is the biggest. Oneness. How big, how small, no matter, we all are composition of same thing, no matter the thing is living or non-living. So our physical body also made of five elements. Now the body, somebody, sometimes you see somebody is very skinny, somebody is whole life medium, somebody is quite big, no matter how much is eating. Sometimes you see skinny people eat more than fatty people. Fatty people are very conscious what to eat, what not to eat. One bread is enough, I will put on weight. And you see the skinny person taking 5-6 pieces of bread and not putting the weight. This is the body composition. If somebody has lots of earth element, automatically he will put more weight. If somebody has more air, more ether, automatically the person will be more skinny. Not with the related directly with the diet. According to the body composition, also we put on or lose on weight. So these are the Panch Mahabhuta. This is physical unit of our body. And then in Ayurveda, we have three dosha. Three means three. Dosha means functional element. Three functional element. These functional element, whole life working in our body. When we are in the mother's womb, these are passive. And when we came in this world, as an individual, we come out of the womb, these are active. But throughout the life, these three elements, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which are the functional element working in our body. When these three elements balance in our body according to our body type, we will in a good health. Whenever they go up and down, we will have problems. Problems can be physical, mental, or emotional. What is our weak part, it will affect first. So the first dosha called Vata. First, I will tell you the meaning of dosha. Dosha means something bad, something not good. Because these elements, if they are good, they balance the life. And when they spoil the life. So that's why it called dosha. Usually dosha is not a good word meaning in Sanskrit language. But it's meaning balance, it's good. Disbalance will disbalance your whole life. So first dosha is called Vata. Vata, as I told you, everything is a composition of five big elements. So Vata is made of air and ether. Sometimes people say Vata is air. This is also true because the dominating is air. But if you go more deeper, it is air plus ether. The composition of air and ether, and function of Vata is movement. And whenever Vata will be high, more air will be in the body, you will feel more cold, you will feel more dry. And if you have lots of physical movement, automatically the Vata will increase in the body. So Vata, all kind of movements in our body due to Vata. I am talking due to Vata. You are moving your body, you are writing, you are saying yes, yes. This is also Vata. we are breathing, all big and small movement, the gross and minute. We are breathing, this is also vata. So breathing, that's we say prana vata, prana. So till then we have movement, we have life. Right that moment, movement finish in our body, life will finish. Vata finish, the life will finish. We have no more life. So when somebody die, we check the movement. If somebody is not moving, we will say, oh, something is not going well. If somebody is talking, walking, everything doing, we will not say he is a dead person. We consider the death if we don't see any movement. We check the pulse, we check the breathe, we check the eyes. And if we don't find any kind of movement, then we say the person is dead. And basically in that, we are checking vata. So that moment vata stop working, prana stop working, we say the person is dead. So all movement, sometimes people say, I'm a pitta kapha, I have no vata. If you have no vata, you will not born, you will have no life. That's why the first cry is very important. When baby born, first time he cry, because first time the air goes in the lungs. First time his lungs start working actively. Since then, lungs never get empty. Around 1200 milliliter air always present in adult person lungs, and this is called residual air. When you remove this air, the lungs will collapse. So this is the prana. Prana is moving, but emptiness will be not that. That's why crying after the birth, very important, because air is going in the lungs and carbon dioxide is coming out. And from that moment, the person is individual. Then he don't need the support of the mother. Externally he need, but internally now he is independent. Second dosha is called pitta. Pitta is fire and water. Fire, it is hot and slightly humid also. So basic nature of pitta is hot. All kind of metabolic activities in our body is due to pitta. So all metabolism, we have two types of metabolism. We have external metabolism and we have internal metabolism. External metabolism is one type, internal metabolism is 12 types. Total in Ayurveda, we say we have 13 fires. Most important fire is external fire. Our digestion, our digestive fire, which we say in Sanskrit, we say Jatharagni. Jathar means digestive system, Agni means fire. Digestive fire is most important fire because only this fire is in our control. And if your digestive fire is balanced, further internal fire will be automatically balanced. So we have to work on the digestive fire. We have to check our digestion, how it is. Our digestive fire is 4 types. First type is called slow digestive fire. The people after food feel heaviness. The people take long time to digest food. So this is slow digestive fire. Basically, this is tendency of kapha peoples. Kapha people have slow digestive fire. So if anybody, whatever your body type, you need long time to digest the food. After food, you feel heaviness. Or so in that condition, it will call slow digestive fire. This kind of person have not to eat a lot of food at a time. This kind of people need small meals throughout the day. 3-4 hour gap, eating something, more better instead of eating a lot at a time. If your digestive fire is slow and the same time when you eat a lot. So in that condition, digestive fire will be more slow. So like if somebody has a kapha personality, if somebody has hypothyroid, or if somebody is diabetic, all these are kapha conditions. Person has to eat 4, 5, 6 small meals instead of eating 2, 3 big meals. And so this second kind of digestive fire is called Tikshanagni, strong digestive fire. The people who has fast digestion, the people who don't get food, get irritated, agitation, anger, hypoglycemic. The people who they say, we can't stay without food. I need breakfast, I need lunch also, or I need dinner. Or sometimes they eat in between the meals also. So instead of 3 meals, sometimes they take 5 times also, because the digestive fire is very strong. Whatever they eat, they digest fast and they use the energy and they are again hungry. This is basically tendency of Pitta people's fast digestion. And the third kind of condition called Vishmagni, Vata people, irregular digestive fire. Sometime good, sometime not good. Sometime eating one meal, sometime eating 2 meals, sometime eating 3 meals. Or sometime if working, forget to eat. And most of the Vata people, typical Vata people I saw in my practice, they don't eat breakfast. They say, no, I don't feel hungry in the morning time. And they can't quit the dinner. So they take big dinners and they skip the breakfast. And this is the opposite practice. Usually we need to eat good breakfast, good lunch and light dinner. Because night time our metabolism becomes half of the daytime. So always if you are taking same food in the lunch and same in the dinner, you need double time to digest that food. So dinner will be as light as more good for your body. So early dinner, cooked dinner, light dinner, very important. And don't go sleep immediately after eating. At least 3 hours gap you need after eating food. So then third kind, this Vishmagni, the Vata people have a tendency, irregular digestive fire. These kind of peoples have to eat on the proper timing. Breakfast at the time of breakfast, lunch at the time of lunch, and dinner at the time of dinner. Same time, then the body will develop biological clock. And once you develop biological clock, automatically you will start to feel hungry on the same time. So nowadays, the modern civilization, we mess up our biological clock. People have no time of sitting, no sleeping, no time of eating, lots of mess up. So sometimes people take like our pineal gland. Pineal gland is a one hormonal gland in our body head, and it secretes melatonin hormone, and it is responsible for biological rhythm. And nowadays people mess up first their schedules and then they take melatonin pills to get sleep. So as soon as you understand the concept of this regular lifestyle, follow the regular lifestyle. Because if you are taking on the same hours, the digestion will be automatically good because the body is ready for that. And if you are taking today sometime, tomorrow some other time, day after tomorrow, then some other time, so mess up in the body, and every time the body has to start from the zero. So basically we say best time breakfast between 6 to 8 a.m. Lunch time is between 12 to 1. Maximum you can go till 2 p.m. If you are taking food after 2 p.m., don't say it lunch. Body metabolism change. Then it's a snacking time, evening tea time, snack time. So don't take after 2 o'clock very heavy meal. Try to eat before. And dinner should be around 7 p.m. Dinner should be light, early and cooked. And if you want to quit a meal, best to quit the dinner instead of breakfast or lunch. And then fourth type of fire called Samagni, balanced digestive fire. So balanced digestive fire is the balance stage. So first you have to understand what is my body type. I have a digestive fire is a slow, fast, irregular or regular. So if these are not regular, so according to body type, you have to bring it on the regular. And once your digestive fire is balanced, which is called Samagni, 50% you are healthy. Then 50% can be other issue. So always you have to check your body to balance it. And then after this main fire, digestive fire, we have 7 types of internal fire in our body. According to Ayurveda, our body is made of 7 layers. So we say first layer of our body is plasma, ras, plasma. Second is called rakt, this is blood. Third is called mans, this is flesh or muscles. Fourth is called med, this is fat. Fifth is called asthi, this is bone. Sixth calls majja, bone marrow. 7 call reproductive system, sperms and eggs. So we say when you eat, you get nutrition one by one till to the 7th layer. Some Ayurveda scholars also say we have 8 layer of the body, and 8 layer of the body, they say immunity, because they say without immunity you can't survive. All the problems in our life is coming due to the lack of less immunity. because we mess up our lifestyle, we mess up our food hours, sleeping habits, all this, and then immunity goes down. If your immunity is strong, you will, one thing is you will not get problem. If you get problem also, very easily you will balance that stage. So in Sanskrit, immunity we say oj. So lack of immunity we say oj shai. So all problems comes according to that. So if your diet is good, if your digestion is good, automatically your immunity will be good. Now, your diet is very good, but your digestion is not good, it will not work. And same, if your digestion is good, but your diet is not good, you are feeling hungry and you grab anything and you eat. So there is not enough nutrition. So balanced diet and balanced digestion, very important for proper getting nutrients. So as much as you will get nutrients, you will automatically, you will get more energy. So, and the product of external metabolism is the nutrients. And these nutrients absorbed by the walls of the intestine and they go into the blood circulation. Then we breathe oxygen. Oxygen also goes into the blood circulation. Now we need proper blood circulation. So the blood is circulating all over the body. Blood is supplying oxygen and nutrition to each and every part of the body. And then cells of the body takes oxygen, takes nutrients, produce energy. And with this energy we work. So it's a long phenomena, but it goes one by one. So byproduct of our cellular metabolism is the temperature of the body. So if you go in minus 20 degree, even then you will feel heat of the body because of the cellular metabolism. So cellular metabolism, the byproduct is the heat of the body, and cellular metabolism is depend on your digestion and on your diet. So these both are very important, depend on each other. Then your cellular metabolism will be good and then your energy level will be good. So this is the pitta function. So pitta, all kind of metabolic activity in our body, it is due to pitta. If its pitta is working good in our body will be warm, you will feel more energetic, you will feel more good. And if somebody die, after the death, external metabolism immediately stops because there is no movement. So food will not move in the digestive system, it will remain as it is, where it is. Digestive juices will not come because they need a movement, but cellular metabolism still works. Cells are still producing energy. Till then they have nutrients and oxygen. So the dead body remains warm for a while after death. Till then the cellular metabolism totally finish. So we say the death is macrocellular and microcellular. Macrocellular, the vital part stop working immediately, but cells still working. So cells take time to death to get finish in the body function, and then the body will get cold. So if a young person, energetic person die, the body will take little more time to get cold. If a very old person or a sick person will die, the body will get cold more easily. And that point, when you see the body is cold, pitta stop working in the body. Then third dosha, this calls kapha. Kapha is water and earth. The composition of kapha is first is water, second is earth. And when we talk about the water, all kind of lubrication in our body, this is due to kapha. We have saliva in our mouth, we have lubrication in our nose, we have lubrication in our eyes, in our skin, in our scalp, between joints, between muscles. All this lubrication is due to kapha. And due to the kapha, the body is moving smoothly. And the shape of the body, you have a structure, you have a stability, you can sit, you can stand. This is kapha. Vata is movement, kapha is stability. Two opposite energies. But we need both in the body. If you are all the time moving, it's a difficulty. If you have to sit also. So all the time sitting, this is also difficult because we need balance between the two energy. So usually Vata and Kapha just opposite to each other. But only one property is same, cold property. Vata is cold and dry. Kapha is cold and humid. So otherwise they are just opposite, and we need kapha energy also in our body. We need lubrication. If sometimes you have less lubrication in the body, it is also a big problem. Sometimes you see some people's, whenever they are moving the joints, they're listening the cracking sound, click, click sound. Cracking sound means in that particular joint, lubrication is getting less. Now, how the lubrication will get? Maybe the misuse of the organ, misuse of the joint. We say how you are using the joint. You are using excess, you are using in the balance stage, or you are not using. So we say asatma sayog. So sometimes like a vata person, which is already dry, do a lots of physical activity, lots of activity. Then what will happen? There will be more air. Vata create air. Air cause dryness. Less lubrication. Automatically more air, more dryness, less lubrication. Automatically you will listen the click click sound, cracking sound. So now the body need more moisture, more lubrication. So this is, if you are, some time people say I do a yoga practice and I feel more cracking because your vata is aggravated. Sometime in Rishikesh, people comes in the yoga course and they say, here I came in Rishikesh, I have lots of bad dreams. I have strong nightmares, which I have never in the life. So they do a very intense practice, all the time moving, all the time doing lots of physical activity. So automatically the vata goes high. And when the vata goes high, one indication can be bad dreams also. So all the time our body gives us signals. We have to listen our body. So as much as we will listen, we can balance the things in the prior stage. And then kapha is the lubrication and kapha is the shape. Sometimes people say, I am a vata pitta, I have no kapha. If you have no kapha, you will have no body because you will have no structure. Structure is giving earth element. So earth element gives structure. So everybody needs earth element. So if you born, it means you have kapha also. Because without kapha, the body will not come. Because water, fire, air, space will not give you a structure. So we need all the three. And now how the kapha? Kapha works some more time after the death of the person. When we donate organs, people donate their heart, kidney, liver, eyes after death. You can donate the organs of a dead body. Till then the kapha is there. Till then the lubrication are there. Till then the channels are open. Once the channel close, it will be useless the organ for the other body. So kapha energy takes few more hours to finish in a dead body. Till then we are leaving all the three vata, pitta, kapha working in our body. And if it is according to our body type balance stage, we will automatically will live a healthy life or balanced life. But you have to listen yourself for that. So usually we say vata, pitta, kapha, these are three, and everybody has some quality of vata, everybody will have some quality of pitta, or everybody will have some quality of kapha. If you say, I am 100% vata, it means you don't exist. At least you can't be a living being. You can be a spirit, you can be a soul, you can be something else, a god, but you will have no physical body. You will have no fire, water and earth element. So if you say I am only pitta, this is also don't exist because fire and water will not give you a body. It's a burning fire and you are putting oil in it. And if you say I am a kapha, then only water and earth. So we have all the three in our body. What is dominating can be our nature. One can be dominating, two can be dominating, and three can be dominating. All the three. Sometimes we have all the three in the equal level also. So I will explain you little bit the qualities of vata, pitta, kapha because they have many qualities. So first we will talk little bit about the vata. When we talk about the vata, vata is have some quality. First quality of vata is dry quality because of the air and ether. So if somebody has high vata or somebody has disturbed vata, the person can have dry skin. The skin can be dry, the dryness can be localized, the dryness can be generalized. It depends how much the disbalance. Somebody can have dry scalp, dry hair, getting dandruff easily, or cracking sound of the joints, or somebody will say my skin and scalp is good, but my colon is dry. I have a tendency of constipation. I don't go bowel movement every day. Or some people say whenever I am traveling, I get constipated. Scientifically think, when you travel or you do lots of physical activity, you have more movement, more air, more dryness. So, but if you are at home also get constipating dryness, it means you have to really work on your diet. You need more water to put in your drink, more water, or you have to cook food with the water. You need to put oils in the food also. Don't eat very dry diet. Don't take lots of raw salads. So in that conditions. So usually for we say Vata people or this kind of conditions, sesame oil, olive oil and almond oil is good. So you can use externally and you can use internally also according to your body type. You can, if you don't want to use oil, you can add some nuts in your diet, almond, cashew, pistachio, like this kind of. You can use some seeds in your diet like flax seed, chia seed, sesame seeds. This will give you lubrication, but don't use dry fruits like apricots, raisins, sun-dried, dehydrated. Dehydrated things will be not so good for Vata person. Vata need more lubrication. And Vata has to avoid dry cooking methods. Roasting, girdling, not good. Cooking with oil, cooking with water. Some part of water always in the food, 2:1, solid and liquid. And don't take too much tea, coffee, because tea, coffee also dehydrating the body. So instead of, you can take warm like herbal tea, water, fresh juices, fruits, or soups like this. And then second quality is light quality. Vata people are light, they are slim. Usually gaining weight not easy, losing very easy for a Vata person. And whenever the Vata person put on weight, they put on the belly and on the face. Typical Vata person, arms and legs will be always slim. And due to the light quality, they need to eat good protein in the diet. Day-to-day life, good protein. And no need to be total vegetarian or vegan. So they can add milk product in the diet. They can take cheese. They can take small animals meat. They can take chicken, fish, small animals. But big animals meat like beef, pork, they have to avoid, because these heavy animals meat takes a long time to digest in the system and it constipate them. They can feel bloating, gas, constipation with the heavy, very heavy stuff, or very red meat. They can get these kind of problems. But small animals, they can use milk products, they can use, because they need good protein. Or if they are vegetarian, the plant protein they have to add in the diet, like hummus, or you can say lentils, beans, and milk products, cheese, tofu, mushrooms, this kind of they have to add. Then next quality, cold quality. Vata people feel very cold. In winter, they have cold hand, cold feet, poor blood circulation. And where sometimes with the cold climate, they get sore throat easily. When the climate is changing, they have a sore throat very easily. So in that condition, for these people, more warm and cooked food. They don't like winter season. You ask Vata, Vata will say, I hate winter. My hand feet get really cold. My circulation is very bad. Ask autumn, they will say, I feel sadness, because days are getting shorter, night getting bigger. I don't like this. So mentally, I don't feel good. I feel depressed. Winter is depressing, but depression starts from autumn. This is the Vata people will say. So they enjoy more spring season and summer season. And then next quality is mobile. They are all the time active, moving all the time. They don't like to sit. So because whenever we balance the quality, we have to go opposite to the quality. So they need more stability. They need more meditation. If somebody say, I can't do meditation, it's impossible, my mind is jumping all the time, this person need to practice more. Maybe you can't sit long time. You can have a problem with a backache, Vata people have sometimes the problem with the lower back. So in that condition, you can do yoga nidra, you can do savasana, easy relaxing methods. But they need to calm down the head into day-to-day life. So they need to balance the mind, stress. Big problem, stress management. Vata people are very enthusiastic people, very happy people. If nothing is going on, they are very relaxed. But little thing will go, they will stress a lot. So the day-to-day life stress management very important for them because they keep everything inside. And next, they need regular lifestyle. If you are a Vata person, you need to eat 3 meals properly. You need to sleep proper timing. Because whenever Vata will disturb,
I think we have some internet issues with Usha ji. Let's wait for her.
hello?
Yes,
Can
Usha
you
ji,
hear
we can
me?
hear you. We can hear you now.
Actually, I don't know. Something happened, immediately gone. Connection. I also don't know. So, Vata people need 7-8 hours sleep. And sleep should be proper because all sleep related problems are problems of Vata. So Vata people sleep light. Vata, if your Vata disturb, you can have long time to get a sleep. Sometimes people say 2 hours I'm lying on the bed, then I get sleep. And little, you can say noise, little light, little stimulus, they get up easily. And morning time, they always feel tired. And then bad dreams, nightmares, stressful dreams, running, flying dreams. So this kind of dreams Vata tendency. So dreams also disturbs their sleep. So that's why they need to sleep properly, 7-8 hours, and going to bed 10-11 p.m. Usually every good for everybody, but more important for Vata person. And then subtle quality. Vata people have a subtle quality, mental faculty, anxiety, stress, worries, overactive mind. They get very easily. For that, they need to do more meditation, calming down on root chakra, and they need to be more expressive. Usually, their perception is very good, but expression is not good. They understand things and they don't say the people that what they are feeling. So they hold the things and it gets them stress. So learn to express. Throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra, they need to work. Even the some thing is giving them stress, calm down and clear that things. Don't keep. And whatever left, release it out with meditation. And holding is the big problem in the Vata person. Then taste of Vata, astringent. Astringent is a taste, it's drying and choking. When you eat something, your mouth gets dry. This is astringent. Vata is already dry, then Vata person eats something and they feel more dryness. It will absorb the water from the body. Then Vata feel more dry. So this kind of food not good for them. Always they need some lubrication in the food, some moisture in the food, not very, like taking a sandwich is too dry for Vata. Taking green banana or lots of dry fruits, raisin, apricot, this kind of things will make them more dry. So astringent, not good for Vata people. So basically Vata people sweet, sour, and salt taste good. So sweet is good, natural process they can take, sour they can take, all citruses, all sour fruits, and some salt also they need to put in the diet. And sometimes they will have a craving for the salt also, because the body is getting dehydrated and they put some extra salt in the food. So this is the vata tendency. These people have to take less astringent food because it is creating dryness in the body, less pungent food because it's hot spices, stimulant. They need to calm down. So when you take lots of garlic, onion, chili, black pepper, ginger, they are stimulating the mind. So vata has not to take a lot because it's stimulant. And bitter taste not good. Green salads not good. Green kale, cabbage, lettuce, raw form not good. If you want to take green vegetable, slightly steam, boil, stir fry, can put little oil in it. Then you use. Raw form, green smoothie, vata will aggravate. So if vata person taking a lots of raw salad, they feel bloating, gas, constipated more. So you have to listen your body, and according to you can choose the diet. Now I explained you vata. Now we will talk about pitta. Second dosha is pitta. Pitta people have hot temperament, clairvoyant. They want clarity in everything. Pitta people don't like hodgepodge. If you are dealing a pitta person, you have to say yes to yes, no to no. Don't talk in between. Pitta will come back to hold your collar. Why you say that? At that time, why don't you clear? So they need clarity. So pitta people, if they are in the conflict, they want to talk as soon as possible. They want to clear everything. So sometimes high vata, high pitta not good together. High vata want to avoid the conflict, so want to run away from the situation because it's giving stress. High pitta want to talk. High vata will say, this person has a problem, all day is coming behind me to clear. High pitta will say, what's the problem? Come and talk. Both are right, but vata will make pitta more angry, pitta will make vata more stress. So if you have this kind of combination, you have to understand the things, yeah. Due to the hot quality, pitta people have fast digestion. They eat and digest. So they need food. And to do the fast digestion, pitta people's bowel movement 2-3 times a day also they go. Flashing out. So morning they will get up, directly they can go from bedroom to washroom to flush out everything. They can have more tendency of diarrhea than constipation. Sometimes milk product. When somebody say milk intolerance, this is a pitta problem. So pitta milk is mild laxative. So pitta people can get diarrhea with milk also. So sometimes people say whenever I take spicy food, I have a diarrhea because spices induce the digestion. So already the digestion is fast. You put hot spices, it will create diarrhea. So the people, if they say this kind of tendency, this is the pitta people's tendency. Pitta people have early graying and falling of hairs. So in early 20s, early 30, if somebody graying hair, losing hair on the top of the head, this is the pitta tendency because the top of the head is the hottest part in our body. So due to the heat, they lose hair on the top. And due to the hot quality, pitta people don't like very hot season. Pitta people don't like very bright lights, or they don't like sitting in the sun even in the winter season. They get sunburned very easily due to the hot quality. So they like more autumn season. If you ask a pitta person autumn season, they will say it's my favorite season. You will say it's depressive, they say no, it's very colorful. So I enjoy the color of the autumns. I don't feel depressed. Winter is also good. My body is like a stove. Spring better, but now 25 degree above I don't like. 27 enough, 25 enough. This is the pitta. Pitta don't like very hot. Then next quality, pitta people, oily quality. They have lots of oil in the body. Oily skin, oily hair. Some pitta people wash hair every day. That much oil comes. Easily getting skin problem, acne, pimples, urticaria, rashes. If you have lots of skin issues, you need to balance the pitta because high pitta. And in future, you can develop high cholesterol also. So pitta or fatty liver also, or triglyceride also. So if you have this kind of things, reduce the oil and fat in your diet. Reduce nuts, seeds, deep fried food, cheese, this kind of things. And for these people, coconut oil, sunflower oil, and cow ghee is good. But even then, quantity wise, it should be very little, not a lot. Little. Sometime a pitta person take a oily fatty food or deep fried food or a cheese, they get acne. So if, or you take a bunch of nuts, you get acne. So it means the body is saying, I am saturated with the fats, please stop. And you listen your body and you stop taking this, the acne will go. And sometimes you don't listen, you are still carry on, the things getting more and more worse. So this is the hot oily quality. So less oils and less fats. And when they get sunburn, coconut oil is very good for external use in that condition. Then these people also light built, but these people are medium built. For pitta people, gaining and losing weight easy. Brush 2-3 kilo up, 2-3 kilo down. They are not too tall, not too short, not very skinny, not very fat. Always medium built. And whenever they put on weight all over the body. So they will say, if in winter I take little more, I get few kg. In summer, when I take light diet, I lose the weight. But if you see a person is medium built and a big belly, it means the build is pitta built, but weight putting tendency is vata, because putting on the belly. So this can be difference. Then next quality of pitta is intense quality. Pitta people are very strong personality, fiery people, perfectionist, organized, workaholic, ambitious, critic, demanding, goal oriented. If they are boss, they are too much boss. They will push you to do the things. They will do with you, but they will expect you also that. If they are an employee, they are very bad employee. They want to give 100%. Even somebody complaining, they can fight with them then. Because they try to give 100% or more than 100%. So whenever you heard somebody get burnout is a pitta problem, because pitta push themselves a lot. So whenever a pitta person doing physical activity, do in moderation. If you are doing a yoga, like a vata person, hatha yoga, yin yoga, good. Pitta person can do hatha yoga, kundalini yoga, iyengar yoga. But if you are doing ashtanga vinyasa, pitta has not to do every day. Once in a while, 2-3 times a week, slow movement, not very fast. Medium pace, slow, not very fast, because then it will aggravate pitta. Pitta has to learn which point I have to take rest. Pitta can jump from one thing to other. And if you say you are a workaholic, they will say, no, I enjoy my work. After 50 years of age, they will say, I was workaholic. When pitta goes down in the body, no use. I was workaholic in 30 years of age. Or sometime when they get burned out, they will say, oh, I was doing and everything gone down because I worked a lot. This is the pitta. So pitta has always make boundaries. So whenever physical activity, 50% physical activity, 50% meditation. Because then they will calm down. And pitta people, vegetarian, sattvic food is good. Simplest form of food, less acidic food, fruits, salads, vegetarian diet is good. Milk also not so good. So most strong part of pitta personality is the mind. So to calm down the mind, the way go from the diet. So you will start to be vegetarian and you will feel less anger, less acids, more head will be also more calm. So we say if a pitta person vegetarian and more alkaline diet, they will feel more balance. And next quality of pitta is taste of pitta, the sour taste, acidic taste. So pitta fluids, next quality is fluid, the liquids in our body. I told you pitta is fire and water and kapha is water and earth. So some fluids in our body are pitta nature, some fluids in our body are kapha nature. So pitta nature fluids are our blood. Our blood is pitta. So that's why if somebody get angry, we say his blood is boiling. He's a hot-blooded. because blood is pitta. All blood related problems, blood toxicity, blood cancer, this is a pitta problem. All digestive problems related with acidity, hyperacidity, ulcers, gastritis, colitis, stomatitis, hemorrhoids, these are pitta problems. So as much as this our digestive juices are pitta, our gastric juices are pitta, our sweat is pitta. So as much as their diet will be more vegetarian, more simple, more alkaline, automatically the acidic level will be of the body will be low, and automatically they will start to feel more balance. So the secret of their health will be in vegetarian diet and sattvic diet. Sattvic is simplest form, natural form, more towards the sweet. So this is good for them, natural sweets. Taste is the best. They can take this and they feel more good. And then next quality called smelly quality. Pitta people sweat a lot, and sweat can have a strong smell. So if somebody is sweating a lot, even sweating in the winter season, or sweat has a strong smell, this is pitta tendency. So this person, when they get vegetarian, they will sweat less. And if they stop taking onion and garlic, because onion and garlic or more spicy or more flavored food they take less, automatically the body odor will be less. So onion garlic is rich in sulfur, and in the skin we secrete sweat from the skin, more sulfur compound. So as the diet will be more simple, more natural, automatically the sweating will be less and body odor will be less. And then the taste of pitta is sour, acidic. So the things which are acidic, not good for pitta people, like a tea, coffee, alcohol, white sugar, processed sweets, processed juices, or cola, Pepsi, or citruses, except lemon is good, but other citrus is not good. Vinegar, pickles, this kind of things, not so good for pitta person. So pitta can take natural sweets in the food, and pitta person can take astringent food, no problem, because they have water in the body, and pitta can take bitter taste, also green salad, green smoothie, no problem. Pitta have to take less processed sweets because these are acidic. Pitta have to take less pungent hot spices because these are hot, pitta is hot. And pitta has to take less salt because salt has also heating property. And pitta has to take less sour because sour taste is more acidic. So acids cutting from the diet, more vegetarian diet, less spicy, more simple, pitta will feel quite balanced. Then third is called kapha. Kapha has also some quality. Kapha is heavy person. Kapha people can be tall and bigger in the body frame, and exceptionally in their family also, they will be bigger than other people. So they have to compare themselves with mother, father, brothers, sisters. So if the person is comparatively in the bigger side, bigger body frame, bigger muscles, then this is a kapha person. And kapha person will be big from the childhood. You will not say that I was skinny, then I put on weight. Then it will call disturb kapha. It will not say the kapha personality. Kapha will be slightly bigger than normal since childhood. So due to the first quality of kapha is heavy quality, due to heavy quality, they need to take more light food, less carbohydrates, less rice, potato, sweet potato, less bread, and less fats, oily fatty things less, nuts, seeds less. They need to take more fruits, vegetables, and light proteins. And if they have a choice between fruits and vegetables, more vegetables than fruits. And very heavy proteins not good. Meat and chicken not good for kapha person. If a kapha is non-vegetarian, they can take fish, they can take seafood, they can take egg white part of egg, not yellow part. And if they are vegetarian, they have not to take too much kidney beans, black beans, because these are heavy to digest. So light proteins, lots of salads, green salad, green smoothie, no problem. They can make a green smoothie with ginger, no problem for them. They can take this kind of diet. So light diet. And in the fruits, banana and avocado, not so good for them. And milk products also not good for kapha person. So if they want to take milk, they can use oat milk, lightest milk. If a vata person taking vegetarian milk, vegetable based milk, they can take nut milk, they can take almond milk, they can take soya milk. Pitta person can take rice milk also, oat milk also, coconut milk also. So according to your body type, you can choose the vegetable origin milk also. Next quality of kapha is slow quality. Kapha people talk slow. They walk slow. They work slow. They are, I don't say lazy, but they are too relaxed. You have to push them to do the things. If you say kapha do this, kapha will say I will do later. You say do later, he will say I will do tomorrow. With the same with the physical activity, they are not ready. If you say do the yoga, they say no, I can't do yoga because whenever I stop, I put on weight more fast. So if it is working well, why you will stop? You have to do more. You say go for a walk, they will say, the kapha will say, oh, my house is quite big. I move all the time, but it is not conscious walking. So they make obstacles to do physical activity. They love eating, sitting, doing nothing. You say kapha do meditation 1 hour, kapha will say will sit 2 hours. So never say do meditation, say do more physical activity. So kapha person 75% physical activity, 25% meditation. They can do Ashtanga Vinyasa. They can do brisk walking, and they need to do physical activity every day, some activity. Then the kapha will balance. Because kapha people, tendency putting weight fast, losing is very slow. And whenever they put on weight, they put on the lower part of the body. They put on the thighs, they put on the legs and buttocks. Sometimes you will see the typical kapha personality, upper part will be less fatty than lower part. Or they will say, I always put on weight on the thighs. This is the kapha tendency of putting weight. And due to the slow quality, they have slow metabolism. Digestion is slow. So that's why instead of taking 3 big meals or 1 or 2 big meals, many small meals, more better. Every 3-4 hours eating little more better instead of eating a lot. And they can use some spices in the food, because I told you spices stimulate the metabolism. They can use some garlic, some onion, some black pepper, some red chili if they like, little or ginger to stimulate the metabolism. So then the digestion will be more better. And due to the next quality of kapha is oily. Kapha has also enough oil in the body, but it don't disturb like a pitta. Kapha people skin is very good skin, like a baby. Sometimes people say my skin is like a baby. So if somebody say my skin is like a baby, this is a kapha skin, because our childhood is a kapha age. From birth till puberty, we are in a kapha age. And kapha age skin is the best skin. If somebody has high kapha in the body, throughout the life, the skin will be like a baby. So this is a very smooth skin. The scalp is very good, not dry, not oily. Skin is very good, not dry, not oily. But extra oil, they put on weight very fast. So these people have to check that not too much taking oil, fat, nuts or seeds. Least quantity they have to take. More fresh food they have to take. Less oily, fatty they have to take. Then next quality is stable quality. These people are very stable people, physically stable, mentally stable. Physically, they don't want to move. And mentally, very relaxed people, loving, forgiving, compassionate people. So these people are not fighters. Sometimes 2 people are fighting. If a Vata person will see 2 people are fighting, Vata will get stress. Even he don't know who are these people. So they will start palpitation, they will get stress. If a Pitta person see 2 people fighting, Pitta will go there to resolve the conflict. Pitta are very good mediator. They can jump anywhere to resolve, and they feel very good to talk, to clear the things for other peoples also. And Kapha will pass from that. Even he will not watch what's going on. Sometimes people get upset with the Kapha people because they don't react. You will react if it is come in your mind. So Kapha is too relaxed, the things not comes in their mind. And Kapha personality consider best personality due to mental stability, Kapha people. But physically, they will depend on you. Kapha will give you moral support. If you need moral support, if you are starting any project and if you have any Kapha friend, ask him. If you will ask Vata person, I am doing this, Vata will make you nervous. You will think I have to do or not, because Vata is nervous and he will transfer his nervous energy to you, stressing energy to you. If you ask the Pitta person, I am doing this, Pitta will analyze your whole life. Pitta will say, last time you get fail, again you are trying, how you can attempt again. But only Kapha person will say, yes, you can do. But only this, moral support. Physically, he will not help. Maybe physically, he depend on you. You have to do his work, but mental stability. Stable relations are more good with the Kapha person. Then next quality of Kapha is sweet. Sweet is the dense quality. First, I will talk about the dense quality. Dense represent thickness of bones and muscles. So Kapha people's bones and muscles
Sorry for the inconvenience. I think Ushaji's internet has again ditched us. So let me find it out. Just give me a few minutes and I'll get her back. She'll be back in 5 minutes. I just had a word with her. Just give us 5 minutes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ushaji, we can hear you.
Okay, actually my dog passed from this, he lose the wire. So it discharge the mobile. I haven't saw the laptop discharges. So we are talking about the dense quality, yeah? So dense represent thickness of bones and muscles. So Kapha people, more water and more earth element. So automatically the body is more dense, more compact. Due to the dense quality, Kapha people losing weight not easy. So they need long time to lose little weight. This is the main problem with the Kapha peoples. And so they have to watch their weight in day-to-day life. And the next quality of the Kapha is sweet. So any kind of sweet, either natural, either processed, not so good for Kapha people. So even the fruits when they are taking, it should not be too ripe. They have to take the fruits slightly crunchy, slightly green, and then astringent sour taste also not good too much. It retains in the body, and salt also not good. I told you Vata and Kapha just opposite to each other. So what is good for Vata, not good for Kapha. So Kapha should have to be less sweet, less sour, and less salt taste. And they have to take more astringent whenever they are taking the fruits, slightly green fruits, slightly crunchy fruits, and they can take bitter taste green salads, green smoothie, and they can take little pungent also, hot spices little bit to induce the metabolism. So everybody has all these qualities in their body, and according to that, what is dominating, according to that they can work. What is vata, pitta, kapha. So two people can have same body type, vata, pitta, or pitta, kapha, same percentage, but quality can be different. The total personality can be totally different than one another. So whenever in Ayurveda we give a lifestyle diagnosis or what to eat, what not to eat, we go through the individual quality. In Ayurveda, whenever we analyze the Prakriti, if the person is physically present, we say the person come empty stomach or at least 3 hours without food, then your pulse will be more accurate. And according to the pulse, we ask the people lots of questions. We talk about the childhood, we talk about the past time, we talk about the family and talking, walking, behavior, sleep, food habits, toilet habits. Then we decide the prakriti of the person. So almost it takes around 45 minutes, 1 hour to talk a person to decide the prakriti. And then this prakriti we compare with the pulse, and then we talk about the vikriti, what is disturbing in the body or what problem is coming time to time. This also we consider. So this is, and I explained to you that all vata, pitta, kapha. If somebody has any question, they can ask me.
We request all the participants, if you have any questions with Usha ji, please go ahead. Usha ji, we have some questions in the chat box. First
Okay.
question is by Samantha. She says, what kind of yoga is recommended for Pitta?
Pitta, whatever the physical activity they are doing in the moderation they have to do, they can do Hatha yoga, they can do Kundalini yoga, they can do Iyengar yoga. But whenever they are doing Hatha, like Ashtanga, Vinyasa, it should not be every day and it should be in slow flow.
We have second question, anonymous. She, like, I don't know this person, but it's asked that this person has a fungal infection around groin and back from 1.6 years. This person is Vata person, and they have problems of acne, hair fall, dandruff, constipation, and cannot take sweets due to infection.
Actually, when they are talking about the Vata, but this personality looks Vata Pitta. Some point they need to work on the Pitta also. Because when he's saying acne, this is a Pitta problem. When they say hair fall, this is a Pitta problem. When they say that in fungal infection in the groin region, this is Pitta. So if they get more vegetarian, more alkaline diet, more Pitta balancing diet, but warm and cooked food they can take, like to balance the Vata regular time, they will feel more better.
We have one more question by Sarah, asking Vata can eat hydrate dry fruits and eat them?
Actually, even then hydrate dry fruits not in big quantity. Because basic nature of dry fruits taking water from your body, a small, if you are using like a sweetener, it's okay, but don't snack on them.
Then we have a question by Preeti. She's asking for Parkinson's and need guidance for medication in Ayurveda.
Actually, Parkinson is a Vata problem related with the nervous system. And in Vata, according to that person, they can do some Ayurveda treatment also, like a Basti Chikitsa or colon cleaning or massages or head cleaning, Shirodhara, this kind of things. And if she talks to me personally, according to the condition, I can tell them some medicine. The medicine, simply they can use ashwagandha also, or some other kind of nervous systems calming herbs. So if you say some names, I can write for her, because they will come in the composition basically. Ashwagandha good, and which call Jatamansi, or we say, but according to the condition she has to give. So she better to consult somebody physically.
I would also inform all the participants that Usha ji is conducting online courses. She has many of her courses online, long and short-term courses. You can always join her if you have any, if you're interested. You can contact Hello My Yoga and we'll share all the course details of Usha Ji's with you. That's one thing. Then she's also taking online consultations. So you can anytime connect with her. We can share her email address and contact details. You can directly consult her. We have one more question on the screen, Usha ji. Is there any dietary advice for rosacea? What kind of dosha is this?
Rosacea is pitta disturbance. Pitta balancing diet. And one more question I am getting, ovary dermatitis. This I can't understand. One question I am checking with everyone. What is this? I don't understand. Can you explain me this, Shivani?
Which question? The ovary one?
Yeah, ovary में dermoid होता है. What is ovary? Ovary, you have a cyst or something like polycystic?
I think they are talking about the polycyst only.
Okay, or endometriosis kind of. In Ayurveda,
Yes.
we have the medicines for this. If you have a cyst in the ovary, we use Kanchanar Guglu. At least 3 months, 2 pills morning, 2 pills evening. This, and the second thing she said,
Gallbladder.
Gallbladder stone, gallbladder stone, basically they have to reduce the oily fatty food and some liver things. The things which works on the liver, like Lip 52 morning time, empty stomach, or before dinner, they can take also 2 pills Lip 52.
Usha ji, this person has put all the details saying that they have diabetic. Sugar ka bhi kuch ho to.
Sugar is a kapha balancing diet. Sugar may actually they have to, I can write for them the medicine, but they take advice of somebody.
I request all the participants, the medicines what she is giving is just a generic one. Please consult Usha ji in person. You can anytime connect with her.
Or you can connect any Ayurveda, because there is many, if you have one issue, you can work on that. But if you have many issues, then to decide the dosage, if one person has a 2-3 things, so according to that, the medicine change. PMS, in PMS, we give Shatavari basically. Asparagus pills, we give 2 morning, 2 evening, regular.
Friends, you can always unmute yourself and talk to her. So if you want to unmute yourself and directly talk to her, we more than welcome you for this. Do we have any more questions? So shall we end the session
Yeah, so
here?
can I
Yes,
can I ask about the rosacea? I would like to know if there is any. Can Usha ji please elaborate on rosacea?
Actually,
She said it's a
rosacea is
dosha.
a pitta disorder. Externally, because you have to work on the pitta balancing diet internally, but externally you can use the aloe vera juice, will also aloe vera based cream, or you can use coconut based creams also will help you on some point. But if you say, show me the picture or your diet and lifestyle, I can guide you more properly. But pitta balancing diet, and in Ayurveda, one herb is called Manjistha. So if you get any Manjistha based cream, this is also works on the pigmentation or this kind of condition.
Okay.
Manjistha.
Okay. And how to connect with you? I really liked your lecture. It was amazing and a lot of information.
Ashu, we'll be sending all the details of Usha ji. You can also write to info@hellomyyoga.com and we'll send you all the details of Usha ji. That's one thing. Second is our team might have sent you an overview where we have included Usha ji's all the programs and email addresses to contact her.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So then I can guide you more properly about the diet and lifestyle, because just one rosacea, but we have to check many other things also inside.
Right. Correct,
but you give Manjistha or sometimes Sarivadi, Aso, or this kind of things also we give skin issues.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I understand. I will connect with you.
Okay,
Thank you, Usha ji.
welcome.
We have one more question, Usha ji, on the screen that says high blood pressure and headache, which those increase?
High blood pressure and headache, vata. All pain, vata is related with the nervous system. So all pain, all headaches, high blood pressure, they are stress related. Two types of high blood pressure basically we have. One type of high blood pressure called essential unknown region, and second called renal hypertension. When somebody has a kidney stone, tumor in the kidney, or you can say adrenal gland tumor, or in that condition also high blood pressure goes. So once you resolve the issue of the kidney, automatically the blood pressure goes down. But if it is essential kind of, then you have need to the stress management or vata balancing lifestyle and diet. This clear?
Yes, I think we have one more question on the screen. Usha ji, what is the problem when breast pain due to period?
What you are saying?
We have one more question on the screen.
Okay, breast pain due to periods. Actually, this is comes in the PMS, premenstrual. So many people have this premenstrual. When we talk about the menstruation, we have 3 phases of menstruation. After bleeding till ovulation, this is a kapha phase or repair phase. And from ovulation till menstruation starting, this is a pitta phase. And then when the menstruation starts, this is the vata phase. So sometimes people have a strong PMS, the premenstrual. In that condition, sometimes the breast pain comes, or sometimes the mood change comes, or like this. So it can be quite long also. Sometimes some people have 14 days PMS after ovulation till the menstruation start, long period also. In that condition also, if they take Shatavari, it will be good for them. This clear?
Yes, Usha ji.
Yeah. One
Okay, we
person
have
has
one more.
acidity and bloating. Actually, acidity is pitta, bloating is vata. So as the food should be warm, cooked, light, and less acidic, automatically the bloating will be less. If you take lots of raw diet, there will be more bloating. If you take lots of acidic food, there will be like tea, coffee also make acidity in the body. So if you are taking tea, then avoid tea taking morning time, empty stomach. If you want to take a tea, better to go the light form and after food, or tea, coffee, or if you want to cut from your diet, you can cut from the diet also. And sometimes milk and milk product also cause this kind of things. So if she has to check what is your body type, it's a pitta body type, then they check with the milk products, cheese, or other kind of acidic food. And if they say more vata, then it is coming, then more warm cooked food, they have to check. But bloating is vata, acidity is pitta.
We have one more question on the screen, Usha ji. What can be done for belly fat in spite for doing yoga every day?
Belly fat, last it goes from the body. If you reduce some carbohydrate from your diet, it will go slowly. And when the carbohydrates, like if you, instead of taking rice, if you take other kind of millets or the things, or when you are taking a flour, chapati flour, even then adding some green vegetables, some other kind of flour in it, and day-to-day life you will work. And sometimes people say the push-ups also works for this. And sometime in India, in Ayurveda, this is oil called salt oil, sandhav oil. This also people rub on the belly fat, sandhav oil. This they will say it works good for the belly fat. And in Ayurveda, one tablet it called Medohar Guglu, good for to reduce any kind of fat, 2 morning, 2 evening, before food they have to take. And but same time they have to change the diet also. Sometimes if just you reduce the carbs from the diet, or you cut from the carbs from the diet, the body gets slim, because carbohydrate also produce lots of bloating, lots of gas, or lots of alcohol in the body.
We have one more question, Usha ji. It says, Ayurveda for depression?
Depression is a kapha thing. More active lifestyle, doing active things, meeting with the people, taking some meditation, some yoga nidra, it will help. As much as they will go down, kapha will increase. So more going outward, more vata balancing.
We have one more question on the screen.
Yeah.
What is recommended to fall asleep faster?
So for sleeping faster, you can start to go to bed 10, 11 p.m. in between, and they can take warm milk, cow milk or almond milk, soya milk with little kurkuma, turmeric. And before going to bed, you have to wash your feet properly and can put some oil on the sole of feet and more better. And if not, they can use some ashwagandha also to help for sleeping.
I think Usha ji, we'll wrap it here itself. Thank you, Usha ji, and thank you all the
Okay.
participants for such a insightful session. We will connect you with Usha ji. If you can write to us, and we'll make sure we connect you with Usha ji. We can share her contact details, her email addresses. Although we have shared earlier in all the documents, but you can send us again. You can send a mail to us. We'll connect you with her. Also, see you tomorrow for the last day of this event with Surinder ji. So tomorrow, same timings, we have yoga with Surinder ji. Thank you so much, all the participants. Thank you, Usha ji.
Welcome. Have a nice evening to all of you. Namaste. Okay.